with us for a few minutes about the experience she's just about put behind her.
First of all, thanks so much for all you lovely people for coming. I won't thank all the same people who've been thanked already, but first of all, I want to thank the many members who've contributed their memories, especially people like Jean Beckett, and there's the Bowdens and the Hendersons and the Knight family. There's so many people who freely gave their time and still stay in touch with me. And it's been marvellous to meet you all, and it's even better to actually see you in person rather than just talk over the phone or by email. I want to say a few things about what Elwood has been for me. One night we had an information night at the club where we all had sort of a brainstorming or a story night, and during that night one of the members was just talking about her experiences in the club, one of the past members, Carol Chernak, and she used the phrase that it was part of her life, and that's when the title for the book came to me, that yes, it is a club for life. And so the play on words for that is it's a club about life-saving, it's about life, and it's forever. Because the club was for so many people, it gave them a meaning for their lives. The club embraced a lot of people who had become a bit lost and didn't have so much direction, and the club welcomed all. So I want to use those letters in the word Elwood to just talk about what the club means to me, and my children will hate this because they don't like me doing these acrostics, but for me, E is for excellence. It's been a club of excellence throughout its history. It's a club for energy and passion and drive, and the people that have been members of this club, Jeff himself was led the club as club captain at the age of 17. It's quite overwhelming responsibilities that people took on from a very young age. E is for enduring. This is the oldest continuing life-saving club in Victoria, which is pretty amazing when you think of so much of the demands on young people's time and everyone's time today, that the club has continued to endure and will continue to go on. It's also about a club of equality. From the very early days, the club welcomed everybody. It wasn't just a club for men. Women played a very important role in the club. L in the Elwood word. L is for life, of course, for life-saving and for all the innovations that the club introduced to make life-saving happen, such as the reel and line. Elwood was the first club to use the reel and line. L is also for loyalty. So many people gave their loyalty and their time for their entire lives to this club and have continued to do so. It is, as I've said, for the line and reel. Before Elwood introduced the line and reel back in 1913, it was unknown. So it's quite amazing that this club has had a coup in so many ways and so many methods of life-saving. W in the word for Elwood is for women, because from the very early days when the club was first formed, women played a major role in the club. Women played leadership roles within the club. A living example of that is Jean Beckett, who's here with us today. Jean led the club during the war when the men was away and trained all the members, and was an amazing ambassador for the club, recognised in an international newspaper, which is all in the book. So all the things I'm telling you will get more in the book. W is also for watercraft. Elwood was the first club to use water safety equipment, to use boats and to have a rescue ambulance and a rescue service on the bay. That no other club had done this before Elwood. O in Elwood is for opportunity. Elwood gave so many people an opportunity to step up, to find out what they're capable of, and that's something I've learned this year, that we're all capable of so much more than we really think we are. O is also for originality, in terms of all the innovations Elwood introduced. The first resuscitation. Elwood went out into the community to talk about safety, not only on the beach, but in just general resuscitation. O is also for openness. This club welcomed, anyone was welcome at the club and always is and still is, but it welcomed many migrants. Migrants learned to swim here. Elwood had a swimming pool right in the club rooms where you could learn to swim. O is also on patrol. So many hours and hours and hours of duty has been spent by our members on patrol, giving up their weekends and many other parts of the day to look after, to keep people safe on our beaches. D in Elwood is for dedication, and you can't think of a more way to be dedicated than to be dedicated to an organisation that's about saving the lives of others. It's a selfless giving up of one's time and energy. It's also for decency and decorum, and in the early days the club's motto was for preserving decency and decorum on the beaches, and that was actually still used up until the 60s, which to me is quite amusing, that you know, the decorum on the beach was an important part of Elwood's duty to make sure that everyone was behaving appropriately. D is also for dreams, for what Elwood, the people at Elwood dreamed of doing and the service that they offered, and that's continued for today. So that's just a little bit about the club. And I think we need to recognise our history and value our heritage, because if projects like this don't happen, and we must thank the council and the Wade family and all the people who've made this book possible, because otherwise our history would be lost. And if we didn't preserve the memories of those people who were prepared to share their memories, where would we be? All the memorabilia around today is all living examples of where we've come, and we need to recognise where we've come from. We also need to recognise our founding members. The founding members such as A.P. Newey, Arnold Philip Newey, was also a state school teacher. He was Secretary of the Royal Life Saving Association, and he was Elwood, the very first man to believe in life-saving, formed a little life-saving station. There's A.P. Newey. Sadly, we weren't able to find his family, and had this project gone on for longer, I'm sure we would have done. But, you know, hopefully they will make themselves known. Commander Veal, the Veal family, have played a huge role in the club. The Beckett family, the Conabears, the pavilion is named after Jack Conabear, and we pay tribute to all these amazing people in our book. To the Edgerton, Eric Edgerton, and the Knight family, many families who made a difference to this club are all captured in the book, and we owe so much to them, and I'm so grateful, because had they not existed, I would not have had this opportunity to work on this wonderful book. Finally, I just want to say a huge thank you to the History Committee, who've worked with me throughout this project, and who've all given skills to this project, who found photographs, found information. Chris Baker has been a driving force, and always happy to go off to the State Library and find more material. Ian Hardy has offered some amazing photographs, and reluctantly at first, but eventually gave his memories, that some of which he was a bit nervous, and once he knew that I actually did know the stories, he was prepared to back me up and some more. Dale Price particularly gave me some wonderful stories of the 70s and the golden days of life-saving for Dale, and he's been a marvellous help on the committee. Russ Conabear, who's not able to be here, of course representing the Conabear family, but had so many stories and so much information. John Francis, where's John? John has spent many hours talking to me and working with me and making sure the photographs at the end of the book look as beautiful as they do. He's just been a huge help. Graham, the president, who's really made us keep us all working together, and it's been a joy to work with. And Christine, of course, who's been a huge help to me on the project, and we've formed a great friendship working on the book. I just thought of there somebody I hadn't thanked. Oh, the designers, Dale. I did mention Dale. I mentioned Dale. The designers. Now the book, when you oh yes, David Roberts on the committee as well. David, of course, is still a very active, one of our most active members, and head of so much of the water safety education, has been a great help as well. And the designer of the book, Duckshell Graphics, have done an absolutely magnificent job of designing the book. It's been a joy working with Felix and again with Sulna. So I'm very grateful for those. And finally, I'm grateful to my family and friends and all the supporters, both on the book and on my little journey to the Ironman this year. So thank you so much for coming, and I hope you all love the book, and we'd love to answer any questions about the history. Thank you.
And it's my very great pleasure to invite Ian Hardy to come up and share a couple of memories